Okay, so if you guys are here for the art, like this is your time. This is when I'm going to be making art videos. Um, you'll see what I'm going to be doing is trying to split it up between a little bit of being outside in the landscape as well as painting. I got this week's video, which you're about to see, is a sped up version of me painting my latest large painting. I'm supposed to go to the studio at some point this week to get it under weight and press it, but I hope you enjoy this. And if you like today's video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell if you want to be notified every time I put out a video. And here we go. Yay! I am so super excited today to meet up with one of my favorite people on TikTok, Be Kind. And they're coming here from Saguaro. They'll be here like later on today, but I thought I could have my Gila, the Black Range, right? And we have the San Mateos, which I know they just look like teeny tiny bumps back there, but they're not that small. And then on this side, we have the Caballo. What? I know. It's like my favorite spot ever. It's like every view I could possibly want is all around me here. And it's so an easy to get to spot. It's BLM. And there's tons of it, as you can see. Nugget gets to have a good time. She loves it here. She owns the place when we are here for sure. The deal is I met this person on TikTok like 2.5, 3 years ago, right? This person I connect with very much spiritually, and we are so excited to finally get to meet in person. And look at this baby I just found. I didn't even have to try. She was just right there. So what do I love about this? So what I love about this is it's like little teeny tiny pearls or something, right? It's so cool. And it's like got a swirly pattern to it. I have a whole bunch of these and I'm collecting them because I figure I might make them like really cool knobs for cabinets. Wouldn't that be neat? Really cool that I'm super stoked for is that there's this ravine here and I've never gone down into it because I kind of need a hiking partner just in case. And yeah, so I'm stoked because I think I can convince them to go down and check it out with me. Oh, and that is the San Mateo Mountains with the setting sun on it. Yummy, yummy, yummy. This is, oh, sassy. Oh, dear God. Yes, ma'am. Here we go. Okay. Oh. Oh, maybe that wasn't a good enough spot. There we go. That's the spot. Okay. We've come out for a little walk. And look at the light on the Caballo. Just before that big shadow cloud hits it. Yummy. Many, many times. Oh, that's bright. Mm-hmm. Oh. What's he doing? Oops. You gonna walk with my shadow? Okay. Oop. There we go. You need the spotlight, Nugs. Alright, for all my super duper rock hounders out there, I just went down into this ravine with my friend, and we took a long walk along the bottom, and I gotta show you my finds for the day. And we have ta-ta-ta. Look at this. So these are my favorite little swirly quartz that I love, that I'm collecting to possibly be like handles or something in a new build at some point. And I found this beautiful sparkly green, which I have no idea what's going on in there, but there is some actual green stone right there. So I want to keep this and see what that is. This one looks just like Jimmy Durante. So we're hanging on to him. I mean, he's even got an ear right there, right? He's a perfect face, perfect profile, Jimmy Durante, for those of you of the right generation. Oh, hi, Nugget. You saying hello? Hello. And this one I just think is really super cool. I like the striping, and I want to clean it up and see what it looks like. This one also is about its shape. It's so soft. And then the side is kind of interesting to me. There's some layers there. So some of it is sparkly. We don't know what's in there. And then this baby, which has its own amazingness. So this is actually what made me very excited. So I don't know if you can see this bottom, right? Something's going on inside there, and I want to know what it is. And so here is my little wash station. My very worn out toothbrush. I know I need another one. But I kind of like when it gets like that, because then I can get all in the crickety cracks. Anyway, so in here we have some beauties. I want to show you. Not this one. Where is it? Not that one. Wait. It was right here. Where'd it go? I like played with it forever, and now I can't find it. Oh, there it is. Look at that. Isn't that just wowzers? Look how cool. This is like something stuck in a groove, but it makes it so pretty. Oh, it's just so rich. I'd love to know what sediment is in there that makes it that color, right? That's the fun. I want to discover. Hashtag agate dad. All right. This one is like, wowzers. I love this. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Yummy. I think that's jasper running through. And I think it has like a layer of, it's a layer of jasper, and this is like stuff it's porous stuff. But like, wow, how cool is that? This one is super cool. Look at this little pocket right there. See if I can zoom in. There we go. Oh, see that? Look at it. It's like a little pocket of sparkly crystals. It's so cool. Yeah, this is neat. And that's actually what I saw and this is interesting. I've never seen this before. Hang on. See if we can get the sun to catch it. There we go. Do you see what I'm seeing? Like the bubbly formation, and then on top of the bubbly formation are these other crystals that are forming. It's wild. So cool. So those are some of my cool finds. Yes, I got a haircut on Saturday. I'm really, really super happy with all my little discoveries. I don't see any leverrites. I selected well today. These are all keeperites. But I'm just going to have to find spots for them all. So bad. I'm actually gonna, I have some big pre-used Ziploc bags. So I'm gonna put as much as I can into one, like all the like ones, you know. And then I'll just put them in the bucket under the bed. That is overflowing. All of my buckets are overflowing. Oh, I have a problem. But if I'm gonna have one, let it be that. I had so much fun with my friend B, just walking around, chit-chatting about all sorts of stuff, and like maybe possibly like every subject on the planet. And then while we're doing that, we're just seeing all these really cool things. These mountains just are crazy right now. Zooming in just a little bit because I think it's more real to what I see. The camera tends to deceive. Whoopies. Look at that. I love the shapes of those peaks right there. They make me so happy. Don't they look like they're dancing? Oh. Wow. Yes, this is like my favorite BLM spot because of all the mountain views. It's like all my friends, I can see all of my friends because the mountains are my friends. And now, the studio. Welcome everyone to the space I've been working in this winter, and this is the latest image that I've been working on. This was South Carolina, and this is the first painting I did, which was a little 3x5, and here begins the first layer, second layer, and third, and this is where I pick up. And the reason I show it to you that way is because with gouache, I find for the effect I want, which is to see the light and to see the, I like to know that everything that is behind what you see in the foreground is there, which means doing all of these layers. The layers are also important as gouache reactivates every single time you paint on top of it, right? Also, it is an opaque watercolor. What I like, instead of doing it as a full thick painting, which puts a lot of pigment down all at once, as a former picture framer, right? I have had to do a lot of conservation work, and I'm working on paper, and paper is flexible somewhat. And if you paint gouache thick onto this kind of paper, what can end up happening is it can end up cracking. So the layers are about adding the water so that it bonds with the paper, and each layer bonds with the layer beneath it. And in that process, because I'm reactivating a little bit each time to create these effects. My hope is that the painting lasts longer because of all of my efforts. Who knows? Only time will tell. Now, I am changing my mind about how I want to see this all end up looking, so be patient as I make it all appear. And while I am working on my layers, let me tell you a little bit about this awesome little spot that I found. So this was back in 2020, and I was heading to Florida for the winter. The temperatures were dropping super duper fast, and I was really nervous because I didn't have any supplemental heat, and the heat in the van was proving not to work very well. So you also can't sit with the engine running in a van that is as holy as mine is. And this was before I had any layers on the walls in the van. So super, super uninsulated, cold environment, condensation dripping everywhere, the lot. As soon as I got up in the morning, I set up the stove and immediately put my cast iron pan on the heat to get that hot so that it could act as like a coal for me to warm my hands over. And then I made my coffee. And it was a beautiful location. I was able to go out and walk to the pond. So this is the Kingfisher Recreation Area, which is in the Savannah National Wildlife Refuge, which is somewhere around Hardyville, South Carolina. It's not exactly in that town, but I guess it's in proximity to. I do remember I had no service at that spot, but I enjoyed a little walk. I saw the alligator signs, which was like, okay, so that's not Nugget's not coming out for that. That was for sure. And at that point, she was still too small for the harness, so I was still really nervous about having her out for walks. But at this particular site, there is a loop trail, and it's not a really long one, and I guess it gets really muddy. I didn't take the hike. It was 29 degrees. I have Raynaud's, and my hands were killing me. So, and I also wanted to just get south. That was proving to be very difficult. I ended up having to get super duper south before I got relief from the cold. I don't think I experienced the relief I mean, until I was around, I was camped on A1A south of St. Augustine. And that's when I started to finally feel warm. And that was like, oh, thank goodness. But anyway, back to this. You can see now, creating more background layers in that beaming light. And, there's such a big difference between working on my teeny tiny ones and working on these large ones. On the teeny tiny ones, which are really a study of composition as well as finished paintings, I use them as both. So I took a look at that first one and decided I wanted to try to do a few different things, one of which was to not include that bursting sun because it creates too much of a glare. And what I really wanted to do was emphasize the path of light. In the photograph itself, you only see one angle. I walked around a lot, and I have a memory of that morning that I remember having an impression of. So when I got out of the van and I saw that sunlight, I saw this amazing doorway and this highlight of a path of light that led me into that sunrise and into the new day. And I remember feeling like dawn is a promise. That's my promise, that things can be different, better, whatever. I can do things differently. And that's what this is to me. It is the promise of a new day. And that's the symbolism for me behind the doorway of light that is in the underpainting. I cannot express enough how grateful I am to have the opportunity to travel in my van and collect images, be making notes for my book, and all of these paintings to be a part of this book. I was truly inspired on this project. The way it all came together had so much synchronicity to it. I have been propelled along the way to meet people that have changed my art and how I approach it. I have found this beautiful home base in New Mexico that I absolutely love. And to that point,
I would like to also say that I am looking to acquire a trailer that will be not only my home for living in, but also my working studio, a place to store my finished work. The RV park that I'm looking at also has space in its clubhouse for me to have a studio to either work on larger pieces or to just exhibit my work in. And then they have garage sales regularly and stuff like that. So people come down to look. They also have this my favorite view of the Fra Cristobal Mountains. And to me, that's my obsession. Fra Cristobal and Kettletop, yeah, baby. So if you'd like to support my book project and this channel and a neurodivergent artist, please check out the links below. I would truly, truly appreciate it. And here is that layer finished. I then went in and redirected the shadow a little bit, added that foreground branch, and then that pop of fall color. Thanks again for joining me on this promise of a new day. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.